Sukhi Hotu. Welcome to Buddhist Mahavihara's Facebook page this evening. For today's Dhamma sharing topic is on a topic that is very helpful to us. It is on the topic of how to apply Buddhism in daily life. To share her knowledge on this topic, joining us at the studio today is Venerable Bhikkhuni Bodhicitta Theri from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening. Thank you very much for taking your time to join us today. It must be around 10 at night there. Yes. So, before we begin, I will share Bhikkhuni Bodhicitta's biography with all of you. So, Venerable Bhikkhuni Bodhicitta is based in Melbourne and is the founder and spiritual director of the International Centre for Inner Peace and Happiness in Melbourne, Australia. Nisala Arana International Meditation Center in Agalavatta, Kalutara, that's based in Sri Lanka, and Buddhist chaplain at the RMIT University in Melbourne. Venerable was educated at Musaeus College and later at Devi Balika in Sri Lanka. She has started her career as a medical scientist in Australia, following her degree in biomedicine from Monash University. However, the Dhamma set her view of life in a different paradigm. In 2017, Venerable was ordained in Bodh Gaya as a seminary by the General Secretary of Mahabodhi Society in India, Venerable P. Sivali Mahatero. In 2010, Venerable received her Upasampada under the tutelage of Venerable Dr. M. Punnaji Mahatero, Venerable Dr. Bhikkhuni Kusuma, and several senior Sangha members, including Venerable Kurama Vimala Jyoti and Venerable Bhikkhuni Manuelue Dhammasanti at Dekaduwala Bhikkhuni Training Center in Sri Lanka. Venerable Bhikkhuni Bodhicitta is a renowned Dhamma teacher and a meditation master with over 35 years of experience. Now I would like to hand over the studio to Bhikkhuni to start this evening's Dhamma session.
So much merit, Theruvan Saranani. So before we start the session, let's observe the 5 precepts, keeping in mind, knowing the importance of having this moral ethical conduct and living a non-violent life, not doing any harm to anyone. So living an innocent life, resolving to live a life with a lot of love and kindness and compassion to others and not doing anything to hurt or harm or damage anything. Because this is the basis to live a peaceful and a happy life. But it has to be done with understanding. So let's observe the 5 precepts with that determination. May I keep these 5 precepts and may I behave in accordance with the Dhamma. So I can live peacefully and happily, and as well as others can live peacefully and happily too. Assure everyone peaceful, harmonious society and a peaceful environment. So let's make that determination that I will keep these 5 precepts and to observe it. Before that, let's venerate the Lord Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times, and let's take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma and the Sangha first. So let's recite Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa and worship the Lord Buddha. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammam saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sangham saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammam saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sangham saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tisarana gamaṇaṃ sampunnaṃ. Pānātipātā vīramani sikkhapaddaṃ samādhiyāmi. Adinādāna vīramani sikkhapaddaṃ samādhiyāmi. Kāmesu miccācārā vīramani sikkhapaddaṃ samādhiyāmi. Musāvādā vīramani sikkhapaddaṃ samādhiyāmi. Suramiraya majjapamā daccāna vīramani sikkhapaddaṃ samādhiyāmi. Tisaranena satim pañcasīlaṃ dhammaṃ sādhukaṃ sulakkitaṃ kattvā appamādīna sampādhitabbaṃ. Samantā cakkavālesu gaccantu devata saddhammaṃ munirājasansa sunantu sagga mukkhadhaṃ. Dhammasavana kālo ayam badantā. Dhammasavana kālo ayam badantā. Dhammasavana kālo ayam badantā. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear devotees in the Dhamma, welcome all of you to the Buddhist Mahavihara Friday Dhamma Desana. So today it's a happy day. I haven't been to Buddhist Mahavihara for a few years now. I think ever since my teacher passed away from 2018. And it's an honor to be here after about 5 years and to meet you all and to discuss Dhamma. So today we are going to discuss about how to use this Dhamma in our day-to-day life, how to put it to practice. Because I feel in today's world, a lot of people know theoretically what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. They know the Dhamma. But still there is a lot of conflict. There's a lot of problems going on. Why? We have not applied the knowledge that we have in a practical sense. So this is why I thought of discussing how to use the knowledge that we already know in our day-to-day life so we can live peacefully and happily, and then we can let others also live peacefully and happily. What's the point of we knowing something, but if we can't use it, we won't benefit from it. Mere knowledge itself is not enough to live a successful life. What we know, we should be able to use it, put it to practice. Then we can benefit from it. So, one of the things we do today, a lot of the people talk about is watching the news. What's happening in here, there, everywhere. It's all COVID. There is going to be world war. So like that, we talk about a lot of negative things. I had a session just before this and I have finished it about half an hour ago. So in that also, they were asking me how to, we talk about being good, doing good, keeping the mind pure. But they are saying when you watch the news and all that, you get very negative information. You get very emotional. So how to be peaceful, how to be calm, how to be happy? They say when they watch these things, they feel very even unhappy, very sad. They get a lot of fears, anxiety, worries, and sometimes even get angry. So Buddha pointed out, when we do something, if it stirs our mind, developing the hindrances, sensual desire, ill will, the hatred, the depression, the sadness, anxiety, worries, and the tension. We call kama chanda, vyapada, dinamidda, uddacha, kukucha, vichikicha. When we do something, if it leads to develop these emotions, then it's no good. Why? When you have all these chemical reactions, these emotions, It disturbs our body and mind. It brings a lot of stress to the body and to the mind. So therefore, Buddha is saying it's a blessing to live without these emotions, to be free from these emotions. So it's a bliss to have no emotions. When you don't have any emotions at all, when there is no five hindrances present, you can experience the bliss of jhana. When you get rid of these five things that stirs your mind and brings the stress, the suffering, when you get rid of them, you get these five jhanangas: vitakka, vichara, priti, sukha, ekagata. So bliss. So if we wish to really learn, want to be happy, we need to learn to get it in the proper way. Today we think we can find happiness by pleasing our sense as much as possible, or by not facing the things that you don't like, the unpleasant feelings, either by running away from them or by fighting with them and being able to escape from that. We think we can be happy. So we are moved by these pleasant feelings and unpleasant feelings in our whole life. What we try to do is to experience pleasant feelings as much as we can and not to face the unpleasant feelings, to get rid of them. But Buddha pointed out, if you try to do this, you're only heading for disaster, heading for stress, heading for more and more suffering. Why is that? Because more you like this pleasant feeling and you let this desire to develop, the kama chanda is a desire, is an emotion. So a lot of chemicals will come and it will make you tired. When you develop the ill will, the aversion to the unpleasant feeling, and you find good ways or the bad ways to get rid of it, either by using this fight or flight reaction, either by fighting or running away from that. You choose to get rid of this unpleasant feeling. When you develop this anxiety, worries, fears, or hatred, a lot of chemicals will come to the body, and then when these chemicals are there, it will stress the body and also the mind. So at the end, the net result is, if you try to find happiness by following the pleasant feelings and wanting to get rid of the unpleasant feelings, you will only get a lot of stress and suffering. So Buddha said that's not successful. If you really want to find happiness, we need to be peaceful. If you want to be peaceful, your mind has to be pure. Only when you have a pure mind, when you have pure, then your speech will be pure, then your actions will be pure, followed by this pure mind. Only when this purity is present, your body will relax, your mind will calm, and you will feel very tranquil and happy. So this is the recipe for happiness. And this is what we want. Everyone wants that. But today, in the pursuit of that happiness, what we do is we watch the news, hoping to find the happiness, hoping not to suffer and to find the happiness. We watch TV, we listen to the music. In Melbourne, in every house, they have minimum 2 TVs, up to 10 TVs. It's in every corner in the house. It's in the bedroom, it's in the lounge room, it's upstairs, downstairs, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, everywhere. And we spend a lot of time watching this. We don't have time to go and help someone. We don't have time to volunteer. We don't have time to look after each other. We don't have even time to talk to someone in the house. But we have time to sit in front of a TV and then watch the Facebook or play violent game or watch the dramas or watch news. We can spend time, so much time doing all that. And after that, we go to sleep, but we can't sleep. Why we are so tired? Why your neurons being firing so fast? Even though you went and sat in front of the TV to watch the TV and to relax, your neurons being firing so fast, so you feel very tired. So for some people, they can't even sleep. So they need to go and see the psychiatrist to get some sleeping tablets. Why they did that first in the first place? To find happiness. But then you lose even the ability to sleep like a baby. You have to go on tablets, and the tablets will have side effects. Then you will get into trouble. You will get sick. And the aging will be quick. You will get weaker and weaker and die at an early age. So I just use this example, simple one, that watching the TV, what it will do to you. So if we go into specifically about watching the news, because today it's very relevant. So you watch the news in Sri Lanka. So here the people come and all they talk about is Arya hoya meya hora, Arya horakam kalla meya mechchara horakam. So and so had stolen this much, that much. It's all this lives, all this, all the negative things they talk about, starting from the president to the parliament to the 225 to the other chief officers in the office. It's about your boss, it's about, except you see faults in anyone and everyone. And we focus on these negative things and we talk and talk and talk, not just we think and leave it, but we even talk over and over and over. So what does this going to do to us? Let's take example for the politics. Let's take what's happening in Sri Lanka, because to a lot of you it's very close to your heart. So when you see things, hear things, you don't know even whether they are true or not. But anyway, we listen and then our hearts go on fire. Buddha points out in this sutta, we just discussed it in our previous Dhamma discussion. That sutta is called the Tayo Dhamma Sutta. In Anguttara Nikaya, in English version, it's called Birth, Old Age and Death. Chapter of 10, number 76. So in that one, Buddha says you cannot abandon this birth, old age and death without getting rid of this greed, hatred and delusion, and without abandoning this, that and the other. You cannot do it. Like that, it goes in a sequence to show what needs to be done if you to find the freedom from suffering. And at one point, Buddha says, being a fault finder, that you cannot I'm just going to the sutta. Without abandoning three things, one is unable to abandon lack of interest in seeing noble ones, disinterest in listening to their teachings, and a fault-finding mentality. When you have this fault-finding mentality, you cannot really improve. Your mind will be all over the place. You can't have clear comprehension. It will lead to mental distraction. You can't develop sati sampajana. So Buddha is saying that this fault-finding mind is a real problem. And today, this is what we practice from morning to night, night to morning. Everyone has good and bad. Not everyone is 100% evil. Not everyone is 100% an angel. So we all have good and bad. Even the people who keep on criticizing others, sometimes they may have more bad qualities than the one who they criticize. Sometimes we criticize someone who has done a lot of service, lot of things to Sri Lanka, to the world. We have done nothing. We have not come closer to it, but we keep on criticizing like a big one, disregarding all the good things they have done and picking up on a fault. So this fault finding is very negative. It breeds toxicity in oneself and to the environment and to others. So we need to learn now how to live in this society when you see so many things that is not going the way you want, so many unjust, so many other things, but how not to affect it, our mind, how not to get affected by that. Because if we go in that fault finding mode, we will be developing kama vitarka, vyapada vitarka, hinsa vitarka. We will be developing all this wanting to please the senses, the thoughts of wanting to find pleasure, thoughts of ill will, thoughts of cruelty. And Buddha is pointing out, if you keep on developing this type of unwholesome thoughts, thoughts of ill will and thoughts of cruelty, and like that, it will only lead to more and more emotions, more and more hindrances. It will only take you away from Nibbana. So we keep on talking about the faults of others, and we keep on increasing the stress in our body and the mind. And we blame others, but we create the suffering for ourselves, and we suffer. We can't find a way out because we are pointing the finger at someone. We blame. It is the president's fault. It is this minister's fault. It is this CEO's fault. It is this manager's fault. It is my wife's fault. It is my husband's fault. It is my children's problem. Because of them, I'm suffering. So I can't see the cause for my suffering, how it started, but I keep on blaming others. So that's not going to improve in any way. That's not going to bring you any peace or happiness or any freedom from that suffering you're going through, because you created in your mind. This is what Buddha is pointing out. So instead of if we look into what's happening in Sri Lanka now, there's a lot of problems, a lot of difficulty. Instead of adjusting and looking for a solution with a lot of love, kindness, respect, with compassion, practicing the Dhamma, no, we don't do that. All we do is we think we can improve the situation by fault finding and blaming others and criticizing others and changing the governance. We don't take responsibility to our own karma pala vipaka. I have to go through this because I have some causes and conditions that's creating this, because I have created it before. That's why I have to face it now. We don't want to accept that. I'm suffering for someone else's karma pala vipaka. That's what I think. If we think this way, we'll never be able to be at peace. Buddha pointed out it's your responsibility. You're the one who is responsible for your own suffering. So when people have power, when they have the ability, when they have the means, and if they are given a responsibility to look after others, to look after others' welfare and well-being, and if you don't do that and you do the opposite, and you even use the innocent people's money, energy, and everything for your easy living and comfort, one day it will turn around and you will have to depend on others. You will become a beggar, you won't have electricity, you won't have gas, you won't have this, you won't have that. Why? Because I abused them when I had the opportunity to serve others, to improve my good luck, that when I have the power and everything. But what I did is not improving the good side, not improving, developing the Dasaparamita, starting from the showing the generosity and all that. Instead, I've been looting things from others. So then there will come a day that I will lose everything and I will have to depend on others, and my life will be very difficult. Why? Because I have done it before. So if we are doing it now, currently, if when people have power, money, and they have the authority, they have the responsibility and everything to look after others' welfare and well-being, if they don't do it, one day they will have to be in the street too. One day they will have to go through this too. So people who have already done that and abused their power and who didn't look after others when they were in power, now today they are begging. Today they are going crying. I don't have this, I don't have that. No, you don't have it because you have created the karma phala vipaka for that. So now at least we have to wake up instead of blaming others and criticizing others and creating more and more akusala karma by, being unwholesome and developing these negative thoughts. You develop toxicity in you and to the environment, and also whoever comes in contact with that toxicity, toxic thoughts, their minds also will get polluted and toxic. So everyone will go down in a spiral, downward spiral. Nothing will get improved, only more and more suffering. So is that what we want to do? Is that how we are going to find a good life, a better life, freedom from this suffering? It's only in the wishful thinking. So if you want to really change a situation like this, we need to follow Buddha's teachings. How did Buddha say this? If you have a child in your family who been robbing things from the family, or who have been, doing a lot of nasty things, they are into drugs, they are into drug trafficking, smuggling this, that, and the other, and they are just, doing all the nasty things and the bad things. What does the mother do? Does she go and put it in the newspaper? Does she go and say it in the news? Does she put it in the Facebook? Does she go and give an interview in the YouTube? No. They keep it hidden. They don't expose it. And they try their best to talk to that child and teach them the right, wrong, good, bad, and what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing. And somehow, with love and kindness and with compassion and patience and with, all the good qualities, even though we are so angry, we will not spit on our face. We will protect their name, the family name, and we will deal with the problem. And somehow we will get it fixed. So this is the love of the mother. They don't want to destroy their child, even though if they are doing something wrong. They want to protect the child's name, their future, everything. So they keep everything close, but they act wisely with patience, with love, the kindness, the compassion, with equanimity. They work hard. And with time, they will save their child and get them out of that bad habit, and they will, rehabilitate them, or they will get them into the right track. This is what the skillful parents do, the wise parents do. So Buddha is taking this example because it's in our genes to love our kids, love our children. It's in our genes. No one have to develop it. Even the animals, they have that love, kindness, caringness, and they can even give their life to save their little one. If you watch a dog, the cat, the birds, all these little beings, they will give what they have, their food to their little puppies, the kitten, the baby. And if there is a threat, they will jump in front of that baby and try to save their little one. This is all in the genes. So we also have that in our genes. So no one have to teach anyone to love their kids. It's there. So when you have such love, we act very carefully, with respect, with love, the kindness, the compassion. And we always wish them, even though they are into so many bad habits and doing bad things, we still wish, may no harm happen to them. May no one punish them. May they even not get caught up. May no one cheat them. May no one bring ill fame on them. May no one blame them. May no one be jealous of their success. May they find good friends, good advice. May they come out of this bad habit. May they become good people. May they be well, comfortable. May my child be peaceful. May my child find happiness. So like that, we do everything positively. So Buddha said, the same way like that mother who has a child who wishes all the time the good things for the child and wishes no harm to happen. And they also can give their life even to protect that child if necessary. In that same way, do that to all beings. So you have to start from the house, not just for the child, to your husband, to your wife, and then to everyone else in the house, then to the neighbors, then to the village, then to the country, then to the politicians, then to the other countries, neighboring countries, to the world, universe, and to all beings. So we have to practice this and slowly, slowly extend it to incorporating all beings. So we have to change our attitude towards others, these ill thoughts, these cruel thoughts, defaming others, harming others, throwing rubbish, throwing mud, destroying each other, taking problems to international level. That way, we cannot win. It will only damage. So we need to learn to be a mother to all beings, to treat everyone like their own child, and to have that loving kindness, caringness. This is Buddha's teaching. This is what Buddha was teaching in Karaniya Metta Sutta. In today's world, lot of problems are due to this our insensitivity for others' suffering. We don't have respect for others. We don't have love, kindness for others. We don't have compassion for others. We don't have patience. We don't have goodness and wisdom. So we manifest a lot of problems. So today we do need to develop this loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and all these good qualities, the Dasaparamita, we need to, from the A to Z, we have to start developing these good qualities in us. Instead of we developing these things, we go down in that fault-finding mind and criticizing and blaming, and we try to improve situations that way. We only develop toxicity in our body, we only develop cancer in us, we only develop motor neuron degenerative diseases because this adds a lot of stress to the nerves. Today I find a lot of people have nervous problems. Nerves are getting very weak. A lot of people have cancer, some type of a cancer. A lot of people have heart problems. A lot of people die when they are young, not just because of corona, with all these other complications. Why? We have lost this health. Why? We lost the purity in the mind. So when our mind is not pure, we create a lot of stress in our body and the mind and the environment and even to the others. So when we do that, we suffer enormously. So we can't win this way. We can't find success this way. If you want to solve problems, if you want to solve a problem in a country, if you want to solve a problem in your workplace, if you want to solve a problem in your house, in your village, in your country, we need to resort to unconditional loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joy, equanimity. We need to go into this goodness and wisdom mode. We have to develop this dasaparamita, or look at things from those angles. And then we can find successful answers. So no matter what the others do, it doesn't give us any permission to think negative way, think in the unwholesome way, to breed toxicity. Then we are doing something much worse thing than the others. Others may be doing wrong things. The way we may see it as wrong, but they may have good wishes, they may have good thoughts and doing it. But we just go with our fault finding mind, and we only go to the fault finding and criticizing and blaming and this, that, and the other, and getting angry, and we pollute our mind and the body. We will be punished by our own karma. So first thing is we need to understand that we should not allow these outside things to affect our mind. We have to guard our mind, protect our mind. If we can't do that, we are going to lose here and now, this life, and even life after. Because the way we get engaged with gossip today, it's not like earlier days. Earlier days, people will go to the well or to a pond to collect the water, or in the street, they will chit chat and they will say, do you know? Like that, they will talk and gossip. It's only about few families or what's happening in the village. That's about it. So there was less toxicity building in your body. You had only very little gossip. But today you have this big gossip master in the lounge, in your bedroom, everywhere, the TV, the radio. And all you do is hear is gossip. From North Pole to South Pole, South Pole to the North Pole, East to West, West to East. You know, anything and everything, all the negative things. You watch the news and see whether you can get any one good news, any one positive news. No. We are thriving on this negativity. And all we do is, today I was talking to someone who thought he had a heart attack yesterday and he thought he would have gone. But he was very afraid. So I asked him, what does he do? Normally he doesn't listen to any Dhamma talks, nothing. His wife is trying to get him to listen to the Dhamma talks now. So he's very old now, the kidneys have given up and he's in his last few days and doesn't want to listen to the Dhamma and all that. And anyway, so yesterday when he had this big pain, he thought he was gone, but it was okay. This morning he was okay and was talking to me. And so he said, I only sleep about 3 hours at night. I asked him, then what do you do? I watch the TV after that. I put on the TV, I watch the news all around, what's happening. So I said, what does it do to you? I feel very sad. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I have fears, what will happen to us now with this war, this, that, and the other. I said, has it given you any peace or any happiness? No. While you're boiling like this, if you have to take the last breath due to some reason, what will happen to you? There is no chance that you will be born in a peaceful state because you're aroused, you're always agitated, accelerating. the boiling. So you're going to find a birth similar to that. So I asked him why you want to do that in these last few days, few weeks. He was saying today we had a chat for about few hours and he was saying it's very peaceful, it is very comfortable. That's why he decided to ring me. So I said, listen to Dhamma at night when you can't go to sleep. Don't watch news. Listen to the Dhamma. That will help you to settle. So what I was going to show you is that not just him, I don't think anyone finds any peace or happiness by watching the news and all these negative things. So it is something we should give up now. We should learn by now not to watch. Because it's affecting our mind, it's affecting our health. We pay money, we pay electricity, we pay for the channels, and we watch these things, and it's like you pouring poison into your body, you drinking poison. It literally poisons your body. When you watch these things, the negative thoughts go on and on and on in your mind. They bring hormones, and most of them are toxin, and they tense your body, they change the mood, and the body goes into this havoc mood. And all you experience is the stress, the suffering. But we don't see this. So this is why I'm saying if you learn the Dhamma properly, learn it to put it to practice. So this is why in ancient Sri Lanka, we have about 2,500 years of history. We have built the Ruanvali Saya, the Parakrama Samudraya, the Sigiriya fortress, all these things without a computer, without a crane, without backhoe, with our mind and with the muscle power, we have done it. But we never created a TV. It's not just we were dumb. It's not that we didn't know how to create a missile or gun or a TV. No, we didn't do it. Why? Because we knew it's harmful. So what we did, we created like Ruanvali Saya, like a pyramid. We did the Samudra, Parakrama Samudra, the tank. We created the Sigiriya fortress. That is to help us. When someone even goes nearby, oh, they feel comfortable and happy. So we put a lot of effort and energy and everything to do things that really helps us, that really help to get rid of our emotions, to be calm, to be happy. So today with all this technology and all that, if we don't know how to use them only when it's necessary, that itself will ruin us. You need to know what the government regulations are and what the government is telling you. You can just filter them and you can listen to that, or you can Google and get what's the current government announcements. You can be updated. And even that, you don't really have to know. I don't watch TV. I don't watch anything. But somehow I'm up to date with the government rules and the regulations about what's happening here. How? Either someone will tell me, or the universe will tell me, something will tell me. And I know it. I don't have to pollute my mind watching all the rubbish and garbage just to catch that. But when you're in align with the universe itself will give you the message. So all we have to do is develop our mind and be one with the universe, and universe will tell you. So you won't get into trouble by breaking any government rules. Somehow you will know what is important for you, you will get to know. That's if you live with the universe and you live by the Dhamma, Dhamme havi rakkati Dhammachari. There is another way to get information downloaded from this universe. There have been some people who have developed their mind, they have seen the future. They have predicted this is going to happen and it has happened. Famous Edgar Casey, that Baba Vanga, and there have been so many people whose mind was developed. Not just it worked like a GPS, they could even read the future and tell what's going to happen in the future exactly. That was not by watching a TV or watching gossip. By developing the mind, they could even get into that frequency, touch the frequencies of the future. The same way, if you develop your mind, you can know what the government is going to say, what they have already said. Everything will be downloaded, and you will know. But without a stress, without making your body toxic. So now we really need to look into ourselves. What are we doing to ourselves? We are in the search of happiness, peace and happiness, but we are not getting that. Instead, we are even destroying. If there was some good health that we can be happy about, we are destroying that. If there was little bit of comfort in the body, relaxation, bit of peace of mind and happiness, we are destroying that. And we are going away and away and away from all this good health, long life, comfort, relaxation, peace, tranquility and happiness. We are only going further away from that. Now we don't know how to come back. But Buddha is saying, Dhamme have rakkati dhammachari. If you come to the Dhamma, if you behave with the Dhamma, you keep your mind pure, know how to interpret your circumstances in the good way, know how to use your thoughts in the good way, develop all your concepts using nekkhamma vitarka, avyapada vitarka, avihimsa vitarka. Learning the consequences of you going after these sensual pleasures, learn to let go of it. Appreciate simplicity. Appreciate the life for what it is, have an aim and live to get your aim, that is to find freedom from all this suffering, to attain Nibbana. So you use your senses wisely. You don't become a slave to the senses, but you become the master and you live a meaningful life the way you want. But you don't become a slave to your senses. So you don't go after the pleasures, but you use the senses to get to your aim. So that is you developing, letting go of this wanting to please the senses, renouncing this, going after these pleasant sensations. And then you renounce the ill thoughts and you develop good thoughts, loving, kind thoughts, unconditional loving, kind thoughts, avyapada vitakka. And you develop, instead of you interpreting things with thought of cruelty, you develop avihimsa vitakka, means the thoughts of compassion. So this is how we have to interpret our circumstances, using this type of three thoughts. Thoughts of renouncing, going after displeasing the senses, becoming a slave to the senses, renouncing these ill thoughts, renouncing these cruel thoughts, and developing unconditional loving kind thoughts, thoughts of compassion. This is where the purity begins. You have to do this with understanding. So when you do that, your mind will become pure. When your mind is pure, you will talk nice things, talk good things, talk things that will settle your heart and others. So we can extinguish the fires in our hearts when we do this purification. Then you will act loving, kindly, compassionately, and wisely. So we will not create any more new problems, but we will solve problems one by one, one by one. Things will, what is happening in Ukraine will not happen in our country. If we are careful, if we don't complain about our government, if we go against our government, someone else will come and take over. Like in the family, we don't put things out there. We solve it inside. So every country, when they have a problem in Malaysia, in Sri Lanka, wherever you are, we have to settle it inside. Not with these ill thoughts and with the poor thoughts and with all this, negative fault finding way. No, that way no one had improved anything. We have to understand that, and we have to go into this loving kind mode, compassionate mode. Look at even the worst evil person in the loving, kind way, compassionate way, and then talk to them. If you are an influential person, you do something face to face. If you are not an influential person, you don't have the contacts, then you can stay home and bless them. May they be well and happy. May they get the knowledge of the Dhamma. May they behave with the ethics and the morals. May they keep their 5 precepts. May they get access to the Dhamma. May they develop generosity. May they understand the karma phala vipaka. May they be righteous. May they appreciate these good qualities. May they develop loving kindness, compassion. May the good gods, the angels show them the way. May they guide them. May other wise people guide them. May the good Buddhists guide them. May they get good guidance. May they do their best to the humanity. May they find good health, long life. May they be well, comfortable, peaceful, and happy. So you can develop loving kindness. Not just for them. Starting from them, you can expand it to all beings. This way, you can generate a positive energy. We can counteract this negativity, the toxicity. The only way to bring a good change is by developing good positive vibrations. Every thought has a vibration. When you develop toxicity, we become toxic. Even that air, when we breathe, it will become toxic to us. There are some places on earth, you go to Germany where the Nazis had these gas chambers and did nasty research and killed people. Even today, when people go there, they say, oh, they get goosebumps, or they get this eerie feeling, they get this, no reason they get this sad feeling and they get, very anxious. That's because those thoughts are still there in the environment, in the soil, on the air, in the trees, everywhere. It's already there. So you go to a church, to a kovil, to a temple, to a monastery. When you go there, even if you have a mind that is running all over the place, scattered, and you have a lot of problems, headache, you go to these good places, spiritual vibes will help you to heal, will give you a lighter heart and a lighter mind, and you will find peace and happiness. When you come out, you will be a different person with a light heart and a peaceful and a happy mind. Why? In that environment, it's a pure environment. Even the breathe you breathe when you're in that environment is good for you, it's healing. So we energize our environment by our thoughts. So we have to be very careful about breeding this negativity. By breeding negativity towards your politicians, towards the systems in the country, towards the fellow sisters and brothers, you will not find any good thing. So we have to learn to take things in this good way, the Dhamma way, developing with interpreting things in the loving kind way, compassionate way, and blessing them from the morning to night, and if possible, doing it as groups. That will really help change the vibrations of even the people who are not good. There has been some research done in USA some time ago, now a few decades ago, that when they understood about these good frequencies can affect people's mind and bring good results, it was actually the transcendental meditation group. One of the scientists in that group, they conducted this research where they got about 5,000 meditators, monks and whoever was practicing, good meditators, into Washington, D.C. And then for 3 weeks, they got them to meditate. They divided into groups and they meditated 24 hours on the clock on peace and harmony. With loving kindness, they resonate the peace and, all these good vibes. Then they checked, which they expected, and they confirmed it. The crime rate in that city dropped. The rape cases dropped. The accidents dropped. Suicides dropped. The mental problems reporting that got dropped. And violence dropped. And not only in that city, they found in states and even the whole around the world, the globe had an effect. Everywhere all these bad negative things dropped. Just only 5,000 meditators meditating from morning to night, night to morning, only for 3 weeks they measured it. That was one study. So meditation means you purifying your mind, you developing your mind. You're developing these good vibes. And when you do that, it does not only give you peace and happiness, but it affects even the environment. That's why all that they could measure them. You go and Google the power of group meditation or power of positive group positive thinking, because more than one person, when you come together and do it, there is more power, coherent power. I think Dr. Hegel or someone, and he will show the results. And you can see many research has been done ever since then, even with using the Buddhist monks and all that. So first we need to raise our vibrations. If you really want to change the world, if you really want to change your politicians, if you really want to change your system that is not helping you or others, first you need to be positive, be good, be pure, with loving kindness and compassion, and with that purity, with that genuineness you want to change, with your good energy, strong energy, you can change. And you can do it with a group and it will have more benefits. This is proven. So if someone is genuinely interested in changing something, this is the way to go. Going on and on and on, yep, and talking and breeding this negativity will only drown you all more and more and more. You and the one who is engaging will only drown. So make sure you stop doing that mistake. At a time like this, when everything is negative, what you see, what you hear is all negative. From the top to bottom, bottom to top, left to right, right to left, everything you hear, most of the context is negative, unwholesome. So you need to have not just the vaccine to guard from the virus, you have to have a virus guard in the mind to protect your mind from these viruses, from these toxins. So that is your sati sampajana. You need to be in the present moment, be aware of what's going on, and you need to take charge of what you think. And it needs to be pure, good and pure. At least you need to not indulge in kama vitarka, vyapada vitarka, hinsa vitarka. You have to catch them, you throw it out, as that is what's creating the problem, and that creates worsening the problems to you and to the others. But you resort into the nekkama vitarka, avyapada vitarka, avahimsa vitarka, where you change the way you think in the positive way, the good way, the wholesome way. That way your mind will purify. When you're pure, you will have a higher frequency. And that high frequency is healing to you and to everyone who is around you, even to the environment. And that pure thinking can manifest your wish. If you wish, I would like to see this happen, that will manifest. So be strong, take responsibility and act wisely, develop all these good qualities, the dasa paramitas in you, then you can change the system and you can help. This is how we should help the world today, help your country today, help the politicians, help the, whoever the leaders, help your parents, help everyone in your house, in the neighborhood, in the country, in the world. First you help yourself and then help others. That's the way to go. So when you do this, dhamme have rakkati dhammachari, you will be protected. And you can get the results as you expect. All you wanted is some good system, no, for you all to live comfortably, that we can manifest. But first we need to lead by example. So I think we have spent some time now, and I just shared one little tip, because I find when I talk to people, everyone is so negative. If they talk about Sri Lanka, they only talk about wow, 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 so and so did this, did that, 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 that. And you talk to a Malaysian, they will go on and on and on about all the negative things happening in Malaysia. You talk to someone in Ukraine, they will talk about wow, 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 wow. Everyone is like that. So we need to be aware of this. We need to learn how to not to get bogged down in these situations, but how to live as a Buddhist, use the Buddha's teachings practically to protect your mind, and don't use that to develop stress, but make sure that you use this Dhamma to get rid of even the stress you have and not to create any new stress. And then when you live comfortably and freely with a pure heart in the midst of all these calamities, people will come to you and ask, oh, you seem to be very comfortable. Aren't you getting angry? Aren't you afraid of this? And like that, when they ask, you can say, no. How come? Because I see it with wisdom. I see the karma pala vipaka. I see in this angry way we can't solve this. I see that depression or the anxiety worries can't solve these problems. Then how to solve it? We need to find the proper way. First, let's change the energy, this negativity around us. Let's change this toxic environment into a good environment. How do you do it? Or changing the way you think, from the bad to the good, from negative to the positive, from unwholesome to the wholesome. Okay. So let's start to develop loving kindness, compassion, and this understanding. Then we can do a change. Then they will also follow, because they have seen you leading by example. They have seen how peaceful you are, how calm you are, how wise you are, how happily you are living. They will come and sniff what's happening, what's going on. Then it's your time to teach them. We don't convert anyone, but when we live by example, peacefully and happily, they will come and ask. Then you have the opportunity to share what you did. You can teach them the Dhamma. This is how I got here. This is Dhamma. Then they will also benefit from that, because they will have the interest to practice, because they see someone reaping the result. This is exactly what Buddha said, not just to go and teach or preach. First, Buddha said, go and behave that way. Lead by example. First, you reap these results, you taste the peace and the happiness after, living the way in the Dhamma way. Then you lead by example. Then it will have an effect. So I invite you all to practice the Dhamma in day-to-day life, from morning to night, night to morning, whenever, wherever possible. Whatever you do, do it with loving kindness, with compassion, with understanding. So when the whole world is on fire, you can have a cool heart. And you can help others also to extinguish their fires and to have a cool heart. So practice, dedicate some time for this early in the morning and also throughout the day, because this is not something just you do here and there and once in a while, that you bless the world and develop this good, loving, kind thoughts. No, it has to be a way of life all the time. No matter what you do, whether it's the work, whether you're walking, whether you are sitting, standing, sleeping, whatever you do, do it with that loving, kind heart, with that compassionate heart, having the wish that may all beings be well and happy. Sabbe sattha bhavantu sukhitatta. Sukhino vake mino hontu sabbe sattha bhavantu sukhitatta. Naparo para nikubbeta nyati manyeta kachachinan kanchi. Vyarosana patika sanya jnana manyasta dukkha michcheya. May no one deceive another. May no one despise another. May no one with anger or ill will hurt one another, not even think of hurting. May no one be jealous of others' success. May no one hurt one another. May all beings be able to bear others' success. May they not get jealous. May they expect them to also live a comfortable life, and may they wish everyone else to live comfortably, peacefully, happily. May all beings be well and happy. So like that, we can generate that good thought. So the Karaniya Metta Sutra is not just to chant, get the meaning and practice that meaning. Feel in your heart. Bring that feeling into your heart, that genuine feeling that you have the care and the concern for everyone who is suffering and who is not suffering. They are not suffering visibly. But if you are not an arahat, everyone has issues. Everyone is caught up in stress and suffering, whether they show it to the world or not. Not just the people in Ukraine suffer. Malaysians, you talk, they are suffering. You talk to a Sri Lankan, they are suffering. You talk to Australians, they are suffering. Everyone has some degree of suffering. So you wish them all well. To genuinely develop that concern for the welfare and well-being of others. And develop that energy in you. And that is going to be healing to you and to the others. This is how we can heal the world. This is how we can extinguish the fires. Okay? So first do it in you, and then you can carry that flame of peace to the others to cool them down. And we can help to restore the peace and the harmony on earth. So do it the way you can. If we are not very influential people to go and talk to these people and change their attitudes, you can do it with your thought wave. You have the energy to do that. So do it. And teach others also how to change this around, how to help the Ukraine, how to help the Russia, how to help everyone else, how to help Sri Lanka, how to help Malaysia. This is how you do it. Use your powerful thoughts. Thoughts are very powerful. So this is what the Dhamma is teaching you. More than using the muscles, use this thought. You've been feeding your body morning to night, night to morning from all the proteins and the fish oil and this, that and the other. But what have you been giving to your mind? You need to give this good nutritional food to the mind. Then the mind can do more things than the muscles can do. Mind can reach a lot of things that the body can't reach. So feed the mind. It's very easy. Only the positive things, the wholesome things. Then it will gain a lot of power. Then you can use your power and help others. Okay, so I hope that you all will live by the Dhamma, practically practice this, bring it to your day-to-day life, and experience what you can get from when you practice the Dhamma, and find that peace and happiness in your heart, and please show that way to the others as well. So the others also can live peacefully and happily. For the whole world is going in the wrong way, looking for peace and happiness, and they're being led blindly. So the Buddhists have a big role to do to show them to open their eyes so they can walk in the right path. So we all can live peacefully and happily. So I wish you all the strength and the courage and everything for you all to practice this Dhamma, which is not easy, but it is possible and we should. This is the only way to find the proper peace and the happiness. So I wish you all the best, and may you all be able to practice. May you get the guidance, and may you find the results. May your heart be free from all the fires, and may you be able to help others also to find freedom from suffering. So especially I want to thank the Buddhist Mahavihara for inviting me to share this Dhamma with you. And I hope it's beneficial to you all. And now I'm quite happy to give you a few minutes to ask questions if you have any question.
Thank you very much, Venerable Bhikkhuni, for sharing this Dhamma today. It was really helpful because, as you mentioned, today's world is very negative, and your Dhamma today will help us guide towards having peace and happiness. So, there is one question. I think you may have answered the question during your talk today. She would like to know that we encounter people that we dislike, we do not relate to in daily life, and sometimes depending on your mood, if you are in a bad mood, that she would like to know how to overcome this and have a good relation with them.
Yeah. So the first thing is you said the answer when you are in a bad mood. So first to fix the bad mood, then only you should deal with the person you don't like. Because when we are in a bad mood, we are stressed, and when we are stressed, our suffering is so much we can't care for another one, we can't see any beauty in others, we can't appreciate, we can't have gratitude for what they have done. So first fix your rubbish mood. Fix yourself first. So bring your mood to a good mood, elevated mood, mood with a gratitude, or you appreciating, or with forgiveness, or with having respect, or with relaxed, or you're peaceful or happy, whatever that is. Bring your mood to a proper good mood, peaceful mood. Dasa paramita. So develop 10 perfections and purify your mind. So your mood will be a good mood. And when you have a good mood, you can even face your enemy. You can even have love for the enemy, loving kindness to them. So that's how the strength, you get the strength, inner strength from developing your mind. When you do that, you have a lot of energy. So when you have the energy, it's like having the shock absorber. You can have any shock and you can absorb it. In a sense, you will not react. And you can deal with them in the positive way. You can even show them the love and the kindness, even though they're being nasty. So one day, when you're showing this loving kindness to them, one day they will change their attitude about you and become friendly. So until that day comes, you have to work hard, helping yourself. It's about ourselves. So I think I shared enough tips today as to how to remain positively. So it's mainly about switching your thoughts from the unwholesome thoughts to the wholesome thoughts. Take the Dveda Vitakka Sutta. It's in Majjhima Nikaya. Buddha is pointing out about these two types of thoughts and how you can interpret a situation um, using these thoughts. And Buddha is pointing, if you use these unwholesome thoughts, it's only going to bring you stress and suffering. So Buddha is saying, use these wholesome thoughts and develop the wholesome thoughts, and all the time try to stay with that. It will bring you comfort, peace of mind, tranquility, and the sharpness, the clarity, and the wisdom. This is what you want, and it will take you closer to Nibbana. So we have to work on ourselves, okay? We can't change others, but there is one thing we can change is oneself. When you do that, you have solved all the problems.
Thank you, Venerable. However, yeah, that's the last question. So I would like to invite Bhikkhuni to conduct the Anumodana for the Devas and the departed.
Okay, so let's share the merits. So May all the divine beings, the Samya Drishtiga Devi Devata, angels, partake in these merits. May they find peace and happiness. May their happiness increase and may they be able to experience it for a long period of time. As and when they wish, may these merits bring causes and conditions for them all to also to experience the bliss of Nibbana. Also, let's share the merits with our departed relatives and the friends. Let's think of the late Mahanayaka Thero, our Venerable Dr. Kesri Dhammananda Thero, my teacher, our late Venerable Dr. Bhante Punnaji, Venerable Dr. Bhikkhuni Kusuma, and anyone who is no longer with us today that has done so much for the Buddhist Mahavihara. Let's think of all those venerables and also all the committee members and the volunteers and the supporters who are no longer with us today. Let's think of them and let's share the merits with them. And the, all you, the listeners, may all of your friends or relatives, if they are in need of merits and they are listening to this, may they also be able to find peace of mind and happiness in their hearts. And all these venerables, the relatives, the friends, if they are in a place not nice, and may these merits bring them causes and conditions for them to elevate themselves from that kind of a unwholesome state, and may they be able to find a good existence in a human realm or in a deva realm, and may they be able to penetrate into the Dhamma. And one fine day, may these merits bring causes and conditions for them also to be, all these departed ones also, to attain the Nibbana one fine day. So keeping this good thought, the loving kind thought in our heart, let's chant Ettavata Chammehi Gatava and share the merits. Ettavata Chammehi Sabadam Punya Sampadam Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabba Sampatti Siddhya Ettavata Chammehi Sabadam Punya Sampadam Sabbe Bhuta Anumodantu Sabba Sampatti Siddhya Tavata chammehi sabadam punya sampadang sabbe sattha anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idamme nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idamme nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idamme nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Also, let's make the aspiration that may all these merits bring causes and conditions for all of us to find, not to find the association with the foolish and the wicked, but to find the association with the good and the wise until we attain Nibbana. Keeping that aspiration in the mind, let's chant Imina punya kampena man bala samagamo satan samagamo hotu yava Nibbana patya. Also, let's make the aspiration that may all these merits bring causes and conditions for us to penetrate into the Four Noble Truths and to be able to penetrate into the Dhamma and then enter into the bliss of Nibbana in this very life. Keeping that aspiration in mind, let's chant Idamme punyang asavakkya hotu sabba dukkha pamuccatu. May all these merits help all of us to attain Nibbana as soon as possible. Okay, I would like to share merits especially with Brother Leslie for inviting me for this talk, and also with the Buddhist Mahavihara, with the Nayaka Thero, Dhammaratsana Nayaka Hamudru, and also with all the other monks and the nuns who are residing there, and also everyone who is helping to run that place, the committee, the devotees, the volunteers, the supporters, and also with all of you participants. And may all of your parents, your teachers, your partners, your family members, your children, your grandchildren, and your relatives and your friends. May all of you find good health and long life. May these merits be new causes and conditions for you all to find peace of mind and happiness. And may these merits specially bring the causes and conditions for all of you to be able to penetrate into the Dhamma and to attain Nibbana as soon as possible. So I wish you all the best, and may you all attain Nibbana as soon as possible. And may you all have a good night. Teruvan Saranai. May you all be well, comfortable, peaceful, and happy. Sukhi hotu. Teruvan Saranai. Sopat.
Thank you very much, Venerable, for conducting the Anumodana. Now that we are at the end of the talk, I would like to thank Venerable Bhikkhuni Bodhicitta Thera on behalf of the committee and the management of the Buddhist Mahavihara for joining us today. And it was an honor to host you tonight. I would like to thank today's sponsors and everyone that has joined us this evening. Thank you, Sukhi Hotu.
Teruvan Saranai. Have a good night, and may you all attain Nibbana as soon as possible.